Hello everyone, and thank you for being here with me today. This is Daniela from Ocean Jasper, and today we're going to have a look at what fears are you not facing. So this is supposed to be reading for personal growth and self-care, so none of this is supposed to be judgmental towards you at all or pointing the finger, but just as an ally for you to be able to face those fears that has been holding you back or blocking, hindering your growth. So we have three piles that you can choose from here. We have the Ghost and Willow in pile number 1. We're also using the OM Save, and this one in particular is the Ash. Pile number 2, we have the Elk and Ash with the Heather OM Save. Pile number 3, we have the Hare and the Oak with the Willow OM Save. Funny how we got the Willow for the Oak and we got the Ash for the Willow and we got the Heather for the Ash. There's a bit of mix here, but it seems like there is a family of trees gathering here for you to support you. So if you feel motivated to listen to more than a pile, feel free to do so. I'm sure that you will find the messages that you need to hear. Always listen to your intuition, take what feels right and leave the rest. If you would like to receive a private reading with me, I am available, so just find my email in the info box below and the prices. And yeah, I would love if you could show your appreciation for these videos if you enjoy them. Any single gesture will be so incredibly helpful and meaningful to me. So don't forget to leave a like, a comment, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell and all those good things. I'll see you at the beginning of the reading, and thank you again for being here. Hello my loves, and welcome to your reading if you have picked the Goat and the Willow in pile number 1 with the Ash OM Save. By the way, I just wanted to let you know that these OM saves are available, so if you are interested to get one set from me, you can do so by sending me an email, and you can find it in the info box below. These are absolutely 100% sustainable, so I do not cut any branches off of the trees. I make them from fallen branches, and yeah, from branches that I find nearby my home. But that being said, let's jump ahead into your reading. We're going to shuffle the cards in camera. I'm using the Likely Tarot deck today. So we are going to ask, what fears are you not facing? I thought of doing this reading because I was just listening to a video from Teal Swan the other day, and she was explaining what is going on lately, what's happening. She sometimes sends she has some spiritual downloads and she shares them with us, and it was very interesting because she was saying that lately we have been forced to face our biggest fears. So it is not happening against us but for us. So I thought it would be a really good idea to kind of have a heads up from spirit so that we know what is it that we have to face, just so that we are a little bit more prepared. So for pile number 1, what are the fears that they are encouraged to face, please and thank you, or that they are not facing right now? Okay, 7 of Swords in the reverse position. I apologize in advance because I'm recording it evening, so the sun has already set and I have to mostly rely upon my lamp, which is not my favorite thing to do, but I'd rather do this than keeping you there waiting for a video for too long. Okay, fears that pile number 1 is not facing. Okay, 7 of Swords, Page of Pentacles, 3 of Pentacles, both of them are in the reverse position, clarified by the Chariot, the Hierophant, and the 3 of Wands in reverse. So you have 2 major arcana. Normally major arcana represent some bigger energies that will have a bigger impact in your life, and a more long-term effect in your life for sure. Okay, let's put them a bit higher so you can see them. Now, so I would start from the goat and the willow because it does speak about overcoming obstacles. I'm amazed at how goats are so fearless when they climb really high rocks and they step on super thin edges. Like, I would melt with fear, and they're just so comfortable and familiar with that super awkward and precarious situation. So this could be something that you find hard to face, situations that are precarious and doesn't give you that security that you would like to have and feel underneath your feet. And also this courage of overcoming them, like knowing that you do have the strength and the willing inside of you to overcome those obstacles. So perhaps sometimes when you have obstacles that you're forced to jump over, you might end up in a freeze modality where you do not want to make any step at all, you don't want to make any choice at all. So you simply freeze and you would like to run away from the situation. We also have the message from the willow. The willow is a tree that is very, it would remind you of being attached, to being receptive of your emotions. So it could be that these obstacles are mostly related to your emotional life or romantic life, or even to just being really honest with what you are feeling and not considering it an obstacle, not running away from it, but honoring your feelings. So it could be that you are afraid to sit with your feelings. We have the ash as well that actually would be talking about setting the right boundaries. So perhaps one of your biggest fears is to face boundaries. Now, that being said, that is from the articles and the Om stave. We're going to integrate those messages later on with the tarot, but let's jump ahead now in the meanings from the tarot. Seven of Swords in reverse. One of your biggest fears, or fears that you're not facing right now, is the possibility of other people running away from you, betraying you, being deceitful, sneaky, not being honest with you, and you not realizing it and trusting them in the first place and then being really upset after. So this, it could also be fear of betraying yourself, fear not being honest with yourself, or fear to admit that you haven't been honest, and fear to admit that you have been running away from, like I said earlier, from your feelings, or that you're not fully honoring your soul's call and you're kind of ignoring it and living day by day, pretending that you are not listening, pretending that there is no call at all, pretending that there is nothing important that needs your attention right now. Because there is a Chariot there that talks about movement, momentum, stamina, determination, energy to pursue a specific goal. It talks about progress. So there is a particular direction in which you know that you should run towards, because this is what your soul is calling you to do, and you are running away from it. Okay, so it's kind of like you're ignoring that there is this beautiful path that is opening in front of you, and it will be really easy actually for you to run through it because it is made for you and you have the skills for it, the capacity, the knowledge, the experience, but you're not going there, perhaps for self-doubt, perhaps because You feel like if you go there, you're gonna betray your family and their expectations on you, or your friends, society and their expectations on you, or even your inner child's dreams. Perhaps they have changed in time, and so you would feel like if you pursue that path, you're gonna betray the old version of yourself that wanted to do something completely different. Perhaps you have chosen a path already and you are very motivated to continue it, but there is this fear that perhaps you have ignored the original call, or your the past version of yourself's call, okay? And it's like you don't even want to face that doubt, that insecurity, because it would mean questioning everything that you're doing right now. Yeah, so that's something. Then you have the Page of Pentacles in the reverse and the Hierophant upright. So this could be talking fear of committing to something, because the Hierophant is definitely the card of devotion. The card of marriage in certain cases is the card of commitment, long-term commitment. Is also the card of committing to your spiritual journey, and not necessarily committing to another person. Page of Pentacles in reverse, this could be fear of being serious at something, fear of investing in the wrong project, fear of investing in the wrong person, or even, fear of wasting your time, energy, and efforts towards an activity that is not going to bring the results that you wanted, so you give up before even trying. Fear of not being good enough in a particular job or skill or activity, and therefore eventually come with the conclusion that you are a failure. So yes, I do feel here fear of failure. That's what I'm hearing here, because the Hierophant would call you to commit to something specific, devote yourself to something specific, and doing it for a long-term basis. But the Page of Pentacles is like, no, I don't have enough experience yet. I don't have enough money, or I don't have enough tools or skills for that. I can't. You shouldn't rely upon me. I'm not trustworthy in this particular situation. You cannot give me this job because I'm going to fail it. So this could be the reason why perhaps you do not want to apply to certain jobs, or the reason why you would not want to go and date. Okay, even though it's funny, because sometimes we're not even aware that we are attracting unavoidable, no, that's not the word, emotionally unavailable people, thinking that we are looking for commitment. But in reality, if we are attracting so many emotionally unavailable people, it's often a sign that we are the ones that are not fully emotionally unavailable, and sometimes it's hard to admit it, or to even just figuring it out. So then we have the Three of Pentacles in the reverse and the Three of Wands in the reverse position. Two trees. Trees often speak about harmony and planning, and waiting. Now, the Three of Pentacles would say one of your fear is to not being able to create harmony in a situation in which teamwork is necessary. In a situation in which more than more than two people has to work together towards the same goal. Okay, so there could be fear, for example, to apply to jobs in which there will be colleagues. I never know the right pronunciation of that word. So yeah, there could be fear that you're not gonna get along with them, or fear that you're not gonna be able to, yeah, maintain or create the harmony in that situation. Three of Wands, this card is fear of looking at the future, fear of planning for a particular goal that you would like to have for the future. You're not even looking at it. Okay, you're like turning your head on the other side of the horizon. You're not looking at it. There's like a ship coming towards you, and you're not even looking at that direction. You're like, no, I'm not ready to jump off that boat, or to jump on that ship right now. So this is a fear of the anticipation. So there could be a little bit of anxiety about what the future has to hold, which could mean that you like for things to be as stable as possible. You like for things to be as calm and peaceful as possible. So you don't like when there is, okay, you don't like when there are obstacles that are challenging you. You find it hard to face situation in which you have to place boundaries, so that will guarantee a more harmonious situation. Perhaps you find it hard to speak out your own truth and stand up for it. Definitely, I can see for some of you this could be a deep fear of committing, because the person that you will deal with will either not work towards harmony, will betray you, perhaps will not follow the same dreams as you have, not having the same goals, or not commit to you, or not respect the boundaries. So overcoming obstacles, yeah. Let's get some more cards for pile number 1. What are some fears that you're not facing? Okay, 2 of Pentacles, upright, and 5 of Swords. No, sorry, 2 Pentacles in reverse and 5 of Swords upright, and the Empress in the reverse position. Guys, I feel you so much. So, with this Empress in the reverse position, this is fear of being your own boss. Fear that whatever seeds you plant are not going to grow and blossom in as you wanted. Fear that your work is not going to be appreciated. Fear as well of not being attractive enough, or no longer attractive. There is some strawberries here as well, that they are showing the whole cycle of the whole life cycle of strawberries. So this could be fear of putting so much time and effort and energy towards a particular crop, let's say. And sorry, I don't know how to put them right. There's something wrong. Putting so much energy, time and effort, and then realizing that is not happening. Okay, maybe a bug, insect infestation happen, and so the strawberries are all eaten, for example. So that's the fear of not being able to reap the fruits of your labor. Then conflicts with these 5 of Swords. There's fear of having to face a conflict, fear of having to have an argument, a dispute, a disagreement, fear of disappointing the other person by what you have to say. Fear as well that other people might be walking over you. The Empress might not respect your needs and values. And Two of Pentacles in the reverse position. This is fear of making the wrong decision. Yes. If you are juggling between two options and you really don't know which one is the right one, you get like a shower of terror when you actually have to make a choice in the end, because you will forever blame yourself if you have made the wrong decision, if you find out later on that that decision wasn't the wisest. That's what I'm noticing. Then let's see, let's get some more cards and then we're gonna end it there. For pile number 1, please and thank you. What fears are they not facing? Also remember, even just a portion of this video might resonate with you, not the rest. So always follow your intuition and take what feels right. 6 of Pentacles. Isn't that interesting? The Fool and the Death in the reverse. So this is fear of a huge transformation that will push you towards a new direction. So this is fear of starting something new, fear of being a newbie in anything, fears of being a beginner in any particular activity, fear of changing as well, fear of your life transforming around you, or the people around you transforming, or yourself transforming, a fear of having to let go of things that do not serve you anymore, you know, like letting go of that comfort zone. Isn't that funny how we have the transformation from the Death card, and we also have the Fool that has a butterfly, which obviously represents metamorphosis. So there is this fear of having to leave your previous phase, let's say the cocoon phase, and having to embrace the adult stage of the butterfly. Okay, so this is about completely changing yourself, obviously for the better, but I do understand why you would want to stay put, because it feels a lot safer. And then we have the 6 of Pentacles, and that's interesting, putting it as a fear, because the 6 of Pentacles would talk about equal give and take. It would talk about receiving help. So this could be fear of receiving help from others, or even fear of having to ask for help. Perhaps you grew up being overly independent because you weren't able to rely upon adults or upon others. So you end up never asking for help because you just couldn't bear the pain of the disappointment. Okay, and so that's something. I'm not gonna overwhelm you. I definitely say this is enough to have a look. So I really hope that this has been giving you a good insight on certain things that you could work on. And yeah, let me know in the comments down below if it resonated with you. I'd love to hear your opinion, and I hope to see you again in the next video. I do loads of love readings, so if this is not necessarily your cup of tea, just so you know, reassuring you that there's gonna be many more love readings as well. So I'll see you very soon, and thanks so much for passing by and watching until now. Hello my dear, and welcome to your reading if you have picked the ELK and the ASH in pile number 2 with the Heather Owen Stave. So we're going to be using the Likely Tarot deck, shuffling it in camera. And before we start, I just wanted to say something that I forgot to say in the intro, that the reason why I decided to make this reading, which is quite different from the ones that I normally offer on my channel, is because I was inspired by Teal Swan and one of her recent videos. So she had this spiritual download where she was telling us why things are a little bit off lately, and her the main core of her speech is that lately we've been forced to face our fears. So if we feel like we are unhappy lately, and like universe is working against us instead of for us, is because we've been, yes, pushed to face all of those fears that we've been running away from. So like I said in the intro, this does not want to be, I don't want for this video to be judgmental at all or pointing the finger at all, but rather as a tool for you to tap into those fears so that you can feel more prepared for this phase to come, and you know exactly why it's happening to you, and perhaps it gives you a little bit of food for thought. I just want you as well to be very aware that being a general reading, it could be that just a portion of this reading will resonate with you, not the rest. So if something doesn't really resonate with you, just let it go. And perhaps if you have the chance to write a journal after this reading, that would be really helpful for yourself. So starting with the elk and the ash, which has the strength as keyword, and also the header, I feel that one of your biggest fears, or fears that you're now facing, is the fear of finding the strength when somebody will pass away, somebody dear to you will pass away, not being able to be strong enough in that moment. Perhaps especially if you have to be strong for others, if you have kids and you have to still be there for them, or you have a life that you have to keep working for, but in that moment you are afraid that you won't have the energies to continue. Something else as well that pops out from these two elements is the fear of not being able to have the strength when something is over, like a relationship as well, friendship, job, whatever you have going on. You have the fear that you won't have the strength to face that end in general. For some of you, this could also be fear of relationship in general, because the header can be talking about relationships as well. Fear of having trust into the universe, fear of connecting with your body as well and listening to your body's needs. All of these are things that we can find from the header. So let's have a look now with the tarot. What else can they say to us for pile number 2? King of Pentacles in the reverse. Six of Pentacles in the reverse position, and the Nine of Cups in the reverse position. Page of Pentacles in the reverse position. Eight of Pentacles and the Queen of Pentacles. Lots of Pentacles here for sure. So there's a lot of earth element in this reading, practical issues. Let me just adjust the light for a minute. Okay, so what I'm seeing here, it could be fear of receiving some type of inheritance and having to have the responsibility of that big load. Let's say you receive an inheritance, a big villa, and you have to decide to do what to do with it, whether renovating it, selling it. So it's on you, and perhaps you don't like anything that has to be dealing with bureaucracy. Even though, ideally it sounds like a great thing to receive inheritance, but it could be that instead you fear of having lots of money on your hands because you're not fully confident that you'll be able to manage it properly. Because there's a lot of pentacles here, so definitely fear as well of receiving abundance. And also fear in general to be an authority figure, fear of perhaps not being able to, either fear of being a dad as well, fear of being a boss, fear of having lots of responsibilities in general. So you will have to be, you're fearing that moment in which you will have to have the last word, and you will have to make the last decision, and people will have to follow your direction. And so you're really scared of that, just in case you're gonna give them the wrong direction, the wrong idea, the wrong order. You know, you're just not fully confident in that position. Also, this is fear of commitment, so it makes sense when we found the topic of relationships in the header alum save. So fear of being a solid, stable, committed, long-term partner, and maintaining your promise, being loyal, trustworthy. Okay, so could be as well the fear that you might not be able to be that loyal, committed person that you would like to be, or that your partner would like to be, or your future partner. There is a Six of Pentacles in reverse. So again, I found this card in the previous reading, in the previous pile. This is fear of receiving gifts, and also fear of asking for help. That's something that I find in the Six of Pentacles in reverse. If we look at it as a fear, especially in a work environment, because you have the Eight of Pentacles there. So fear of having to ask for help in your work environment, especially if you have an authoritarian job, you know, because you think that, or people think that you being in that higher position, you don't need to ask for help at all because you have everything sorted for yourself. So there could be fear of being minimized or judged or ridiculized if you go and ask for help when you need it. So if you are about to embark on a new job, for example, or you just started a new job and they gave you lots of responsibilities, and they are assuming that you have the capability for that particular position, you might have found yourself, or you're scared to find yourself in a situation in which you will have to ask for help, but you will feel terrified at that idea, because what if they realize that by doing so you are not actually suitable for that position, because you should know already. Now, people might not be that harsh, you know, the people you work with might not be that harsh, but that is a fear that you have to face. So now that you know, you can prepare yourself mentally for it, and even by saying things to yourself like, it is okay to not know everything, it is okay to receive help. I love the EFT technique, the emotional freedom technique, where you tap in specific points of your body while you speak out loud some positive affirmations, and that helps to basically rewire your brain and remove certain obstacles, certain old beliefs that don't serve you anymore. So that could be an idea. I will offer in the future some Reiki as well for these particular situations. So some Reiki, that energy healing, that will help you to remove one by one all of these obstacles and melt them away and get them out of your system. So that could be something that I'll be offering in the future in my next few videos, because somebody as well asked me, Jua, a dear viewer, asked me to do some Reiki, so I might do that. Nine of Cups in reverse and the Queen of Pentacles upright. Okay, this is fear of being either a parent, because when you're a parent it's really hard to satisfy all of your personal needs. You have to give priority to others, have to give priority to them, to your kids, and therefore you will eventually neglect, or there is this fear that you might have to neglect all of your needs, perhaps your social life, perhaps your spa treatment, perhaps some time by yourself, your yoga classes, or going to a hairdresser every week, whatever that is that you have time for right now, that you used to have time for, and now you're preparing yourself for that phase in which you will have to be a parent. Then that could be your fear, that you won't be able to satisfy all of your needs, and perhaps as well the needs of other people and the needs of your kids, okay, that you won't be able to answer to all of their calls. Something else, this could be fear that even though you will achieve a higher position and you will get enough money to sustain yourself and to satisfy all of your needs, in the end you might not have enough time to satisfy all of those needs. Okay, so in appearance on the outside, it will look like you'll have a great life, but you're scared that inside you will feel miserable, because it will all be about having these massive responsibilities for either a company or your own company, or the people that work for you, or a bigger system that you're working for that needs you every single minute. So this could be the fear that yes, financially you will be okay, but emotionally not so much. So let's see what else. For pile number 2, please and thank you. Okay, we have the Four of Swords and the King of Wands. This gives me instant vibes of having an unreasonable, angry, and unpredictable boss or partner that will be completely restless, have restless energy, and doesn't really direct it. Doesn't really have an outlet for it, so it doesn't know where to direct it, and it will pour all of this frustration and anger towards you. And it could also be the opposite fear, that you might eventually end up being so frustrated and angry, and because your cup will be so empty that you won't have the ability to pour anything on others. So one of your fears, it could be the opposite, that you will be the restless person, that you will be the impulsive person. Now again, just take whatever resonates. This could also be fear that the path that you have chosen or that you're choosing won't be giving you that excitement anymore, and that you will feel restless because you will keep asking yourself, have I chosen the right job? Have I chosen the right career? Have I chosen the right adventure project? Have I made the right decision here? We have the Devil. Interesting here. Oh, this could be fear that if you achieve a higher position, is you will get tempted to use your money in some way that is not very healthy for yourself, because it could bring to addictions. It could bring you to a phase in which your soul will be completely lost in wanting to numb yourself, whether with substances, whether with going to clubs every night, whether with drinking, whatever that is. Some habits that are not really serving your soul purpose, but they're just kind of numbing the pain. Not necessarily for a higher position, but even if you become a parent, and then you will be so up to your neck with responsibilities, and your nerves will be so irritated. Perhaps you will have lack of sleep as well, finding it hard to sleep, and having to still be kind and generous and altruistic and empathic towards others or towards your kids, even though you haven't been able to sleep. So you might be scared that there's going to be these toxic side of yourself that will be brought up to surface, in which you might, for example, snap at people, or just not being very considerate or kind towards them, or falling into some addiction just so that you can have your little break. Perhaps, I feel as well from the ELK and ASH and from the header that one of your biggest fear could be that your parents will pass away, and therefore you will have responsibilities over your siblings, for example, or over the companies they have left, because it would be a pity to just sell it, things like that. Now let me grab some cards. Some cards of reassurance as well. What are some kind words from Spirit that could help you in this situation? Okay, Seven of Pentacles. You don't have to do it all right now. And also, just because they have created a massive company, or they have a mansion, or whatever they have created that looks like worthy to keep fighting for or keep nourishing, you don't really have to do it. Just because your parents or whoever came before you decided that that was their life purpose, it doesn't necessarily have to be yours as well. So the Seven of Pentacles is the card in which you actually look at your efforts, and you look at your crop, and you decide whether it is worthy continuing it or not, whether it is actually bearing fruits for you or not. Okay, so this is something that I feel some of you really needed to hear, that you don't necessarily have to carry that. So if your father, I don't know, has a farm and has cows and produce milk on a industrial scale, and you will feel like they put so much effort and sweat for all their life, that they would, turn inside their grave if they find out that you decided to sell the company and the land and everything. But really, you are allowed to have a different life purpose. You're not obliged to stay there. Four of Wands. I feel that this is saying as well, you don't have to marry if you don't want to. And even if you have a relationship, you don't have to move in with them if you don't want to. And if there is something that your family or relationship or your parents were super excited about, you don't have to have the same excitement for it. You don't have to, share the same goals in life. And something else, Five of Cups. I feel that this is Spirit's telling you, if you go through a a death or a big end, a big painful end, they want you to feel that pain. They want you to mourn the absence of that person or whoever it is or whatever it is that you might lose, because that will help you to deal with any of the surrounding fears. Okay, if you deal with that emotional part first, anything else, anything bureaucratic, logical, practical, will come after it. The thing is, it's really hard to deal with those practical things when you are emotionally all over the place. And I know that sometimes society forces to do those things so quick that we don't really have time to manage our emotions. But if you can, whether it's before the practical stuff or after, spirits really want you to not neglect this part, because otherwise it will just turn into a massive weight on your chest and you'll carry it for years and years, and it might, what's the word? I can't find the word right now, but yeah, kind of be an obstacle for your growth. Okay, so I think I'm gonna finish here. I really hope that these messages have been helping you. So let me know in the comments down below. If you like this content, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell down below also, so you won't be missing any of my new videos. And if you want to find other ways to support my channel, you can find in the info box below lots of cute little ways, and I'm always here if you like a private reading with me. That will be all. See you next time. Sending you big hugs and all of the strength that you need throughout this phase. Much love. Hello my loves, and welcome to your reading. If you have picked the Hare and Oak in pile number 3 with the Willow Ogham stave, we're going to be using the Likely Tarot deck. Gorgeous deck, and we're gonna shuffle it in camera and accept reverse cards as well. I just want to say first of all that I'm so proud of you for clicking onto this video and deciding to face your fears. It's something really brave of you. Also, I would like you to know that it's very important that you only take whatever resonates and leave the rest, so try not to force any messages on yourself. The intention for this video is for you to have some food for thought, and I absolutely don't have the desire for you to feel like the finger is being pointed at you or there is any judgment at all. And also I wanted to share the reason why I decided this topic, which is quite different from what I usually do, since most of the time my topics are love related. And it's because I was watching a recent video from Teal Swan, and she had a spiritual update for us in which she said that the reason why lately seems like universe is working against us and not for us is because we've been forced to face our fears. So that was like a light bulb for me, and I was like, okay, so let's find out what are these fears so that I can be prepared. And so that's what I did for myself, but I thought it would be good as well to give you the opportunity to do the same self-reflection. So let's see for pile number 3. I would have to say with the Hare and Oak and the Willow, there could be fear of embracing a caregiving role, a fear of embracing new opportunities as well, a fear of being in touch with your emotions and feelings, fear of being in touch with your feminine side, fear of being in touch with your inner strengths and bravery. So let's see what can Tarot say to us about that, and even go more in detail or talking to us about other fears. Please and thank you. We have the Page of Swords, very interesting, the Ace of Pentacles upright, and the Six of Wands, clarified by the Two of Cups in the reverse position, the Likely Creator in reverse, which is actually an extra card. It doesn't belong to the usual major arcana. And the World. Okay, so Page of Swords in reverse. This is fear of being honest, being truthful, fear of speaking your truth to others. It looks a bit too bright, doesn't it? Fear of having to express yourself when you don't want to. Perhaps this could also be public speaking. Fear of sharing some harsh truths. And this could also be fear that your words are going to be upset others. Fears that whatever you say is not going to be listened to. Fear that once you try and speak out your truth, it is simply going to be dismissed. Fear that your words, instead of creating union, will create separation. Fear that if you speak up, the people that cares about you will not run away, but will create some distance between the two of you, or just not understand you and not love you unconditionally like they say they would. This is a hard one for sure. So this to me speaks about this fear of being completely authentic with yourself and standing up for yourself, being really not betraying yourself. So if you are into a specific interest that is it has a tiny little niche and not everybody will understand it, it's really important, it would be really important that you do it anyway. Let's say that you like pole dancing and in your family is seen as really bad and something that you should be ashamed of, because there is this generational trauma that being comfortable with your sexuality and with your femininity is wrong, is something shameful. Now the lesson here is to continue doing it anyway, even if you have the fear that your family is going to judge you or not accept you and what's the word, not demonize you, there is another word I was looking for, it will come out. Let me come back, I want to fix the light for a second. So perhaps there is this fear of being fully authentic and show to others who you truly are. Ace of Pentacles and the Likely Creator. So this talks about a new beginning, a new investment in something that it's completely outside of the norm, because you are the Likely Creator. And so that means Master Manifester, okay? This is the Magician vibe. This is your opportunity to write a different story, your opportunity to create a different canvas for yourself that is unique to yourself. So if there is a desire within you as well to, being your self-employed and work with something unusual, let's say even being a mediator between earthly matters and the spiritual world, and being able to being a psychic, being able to speak with ghosts, something like that, and everybody in your family would think that you completely lost your mind if you do that. Well, who cares? Because this is you, this is your life purpose, and look how much light you would be spreading around in the world, how much beauty, how much nourishment and healing you would spread in the world if you would follow this path, if you would open this door, if you would invest in this quality of yours. So there is this fear of starting a new beginning, especially in a path that is unique to yourself and that nobody else has learned before. Perhaps nobody has some wisdom or knowledge to pass down to you because it is completely new. Six of Wands and the World. This is interestingly a fear to be successful, a fear to be victorious, a fear of as well what the public would say, because the Six of Wands does speak about having an audience. So a fear of what your audience, how your audience is going to react to your gifts and talents and skills and activities, whatever you decide to do, projects. So Six of Wands, fear being victorious, also because if you are successful and victorious in this, you are stepping into a new reality, into a new chapter of your life that perhaps will force you to leave the country in which you're in, or even just the village, or even just your family, and maybe travel to America, whatever that is that your new activity is bringing you towards, or maybe simply will change your whole lifestyle. Maybe it would mean leaving your office job. Okay, so there is this fear of completing a circle, completing a cycle, and leaving behind your old life and starting a new one. Even though it is going to bring you success and victory, you would still be kind of scared of what that would mean. So it makes sense here when we talk about fear of new opportunities with the hare and the oak. Let's see more. Please and thank you for pile number 2. Can you tell I have what's it called, a Virgo stellium in my chart? I'm so picky when it's about my reading and my cards. I want them to be neat. Okay. For pile number 2, please and thank you. What fears are they not facing, or what fears should they face? Please and thank you for pile number 3. This is really important. I feel I still have to talk about the Page of Swords and the Two of Cups. This could be fear that your partner is going to leave you if you are honest to yourself. If you tell them what you feel, if you tell them what you think, if you're really sincere and open with them. This is dangerous. If you feel unsafe to speak in your connection, it's a massive red flag. If you're scared at any time that you express your opinion, your person is going to react emotionally and distance themselves from you. This is a massive red flag. You should be able to have honest communication with them. If they react angrily because you told them, I didn't really like what you did. And if they expect an apology from you because of your reaction to something bad that they have done to you, massive red flag, run away. Okay. So please don't be sitting in fear, tiptoeing around their possible reaction, because this is not right. Okay. For pile number 3, please and thank you. Queen of Swords in the reverse. Your 10 of Wands in the reverse position, and the Hermit. Yeah, this is fear of being alone, being abandoned perhaps, fear of not being able to make any friends, of having a new connection once you start putting boundaries for yourself. Okay, this is Queen of Swords. If it was upright, it would talk about a person that is absolutely confident to set her standards, absolutely confident to speak her truth, and very, just speak face to face about what is wrong and face the conflict ahead, right? But it's in reverse. This is a more submitted position, or there could be lack of confidence or fear again of expressing yourself, fear that you're gonna make the wrong move, the wrong decision, that anything you say is wrong. So yeah, that's what I'm seeing. 10 of Wands in reverse. Oh, this talks about removing a baggage, removing a big baggage from your chest. So if there is a big heavy big heavy weight on your chest that you are not releasing yourself from because you're scared of how people will react, because in that case, because you're scared that they might actually leave you alone, I would wonder what type of friends are there, what type of relationship it is. Do they truly love you for who you are? And give them a chance, even give them a chance, and show who you are, show what your thoughts and feelings are, show you what your boundaries are, and then see how they act. If they do not respect you, that is a sign that they're not the right tribe for you. And I know that it is really hard. It is really hard to feel like you're against the whole world. It is really hard to not have enough people supporting you, especially when you're about to jump onto a new life chapter, a new opportunity, a new job. It is important to have people that understand and support you and are there if you need, but also you do not want to be surrounded by people that are controlling, or that are abusive, that want you to comply to their idea of you, you know. Let me see what else. There is fear as well to be introspective, fear to be honest with yourself, fear to admit what the problem is, fear to admit that right now you're completely burdened by responsibilities, that you're tired, that you're exhausted, that you're burned out, that your life rhythm, it is not sustainable right now. Fear to leave a position of authority as well, fear to leave a really good job. So perhaps this is something that it would be beneficial for you to face and be like, okay, what is it that I'm not saying to myself? What is it that I'm avoiding? What truth am I avoiding here? Why do I keep doing the same job or the same routine even though I am burned out? What is it that I'm scared to face? Why am I so scared to leave this routine if it is not beneficial for me? So let's get some more cards there to understand. Get a bit messed. Please and thank you for pile number 3. Tower. The tower is there, the Hierophant. And the star in the reverse position. Okay, so this could be fear that if you do admit yourself that you are burned out, that this rhythm is unsustainable, you could feel like a failure because you've been committing to it for so long, and you do not want this tower moment in which you completely dismantle what you have created up until now. You feel like it would mean a waste of sacrifices, a waste of energy and effort. Yeah, and you would feel like you're stepping away from your dream instead of walking towards it. So this is the fear. The tower though never comes for a bad reason. The tower comes to cleanse, to remove anything that doesn't serve you anymore, to remove toxicity from your life, Okay, so do not be scared to be angry if you have to, because the Tower as well in reverse could be suppressing anger, just in case, you know, they're going to create a big disruption. This anger is going to create a big disruption in your life. But do you really want to leave unhappy just because is your safe zone right now and is comfortable not talking about uncomfortable things and difficult truths, right? I feel that there is a beautiful future ahead of you. The Ace of Pentacles, the Six of Wands, the world that we saw, the new opportunities, like something is waiting for you to make this big move. I would say try not to be scared about how upset the people around you are going to be. Try not to give priority to how they are going to react. Just do your thing. You do not want to betray yourself. You are the likely creator, like I said, so there is something magnificent waiting for you that you're about to create. And you should be proud of yourself. Whoever taught you that being different and unique from others is something to be ashamed of? It's complete nonsense. It's doing such a big disservice to you and to themselves. If it's their fear, fair enough, they don't have to go down that path, but it is absolutely unfair to transfer their fears onto you, even though it does happen, especially between parents and sons and daughters. Does happen involuntarily, but if we are aware of it and conscious, we can avoid that from happening. Okay, so let's see if there's any word of suggestion, any word of advice from Spirit to you, any comforting words to end the reading. Please and thank you. Eight of Pentacles in the reverse. Ace of Cups upright, another new beginning card, and Two of Wands. Oh, beautiful. So I feel the spirits are saying, don't be worried about the job that you're leaving, for example. They're gonna be able to carry on even without you. And I don't mean it in a bad way. I just simply say so that you don't feel obliged. Just because you have responsibilities towards that job, it doesn't mean that it is your life. You are absolutely allowed to change it if it is not working for you anymore. So don't be too attached to whatever routine you have created, even though you're pretty good at it right now. And it is great to be good at something, and it makes you feel as well like it doesn't need so much effort anymore because you just do it automatically. But it is not filling your heart with joy and enthusiasm, and it just doesn't feel right. Instead, Spirit wants you to follow what you love, what truly makes you happy with this Ace of Cups, and look towards future opportunities here with the Two of Wands. Simply start studying the plan ahead. Start studying your next move. There's few options ahead of you. The decision is entirely yours, but there is an exciting future ahead of you. Okay, this is amazing. Let me know in the comments down below if this reading, I keep mixing the word reading and video, if this reading has been helpful. I'd love to hear your feedback, and if you could support my channel, even just a thumbs up would be great, or a comment, or share with your friends. Subscribe if you haven't done it yet, and hit the notification bell down below so you will be notified anytime that I publish a new video and you won't miss any. I'm also sharing some posts on the community tab, so if you'd like some quick guidance, quick pick a card every couple of days, I guess there is a new one. And yeah, check out as well the other ways that you have in the info box below to support me, and if you need a private reading, I'm here for you. That would be all. See you very soon. Big hugs, and I give you all the strength that you need for this new phase of your life.